Let's see. I believe we are live. See if I can't get this up here. That would be it. Alrighty, so I would like to welcome everybody to our first live. Having some technical difficulties. It's my first live, so if there's some technical difficulties that pop up, forgive me. We decided, since we are getting ready to go on one of our most epic cruises ever, that we would go live, give you an opportunity to ask questions, make recommendations, things like that. So let's get down to it. Got me some stuff to look at over here. What we're doing, where are we going? We are going to Europe. We're going to do a 9-day cruise around from London. I got all kind of stuff sitting here. From London out of Dover. And what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about that, give you a kind of a synopsis of our whole plans. So like I said earlier, I think I just want to welcome everybody to our very first live. We decided we were going to add that to some of the things we're going to do. Figured it might be a good thing for us to do. Gives us an opportunity to answer questions and see what, maybe get recommendations. But anyhow, so what about this cruise? And actually, it's not just a cruise. We're actually going to spend some time in Europe too. So we will be leaving out late on a Friday night, August 30th, out of Nashville. We are going to be flying British Airways, and we decided that we were going to go business class for several reasons. But one big reason we wanted to do that is kind of give us an opportunity to do a comparison between the economy and the business class. No, one of us is not going economy and the other one going business class. We're going to go business class, and we're going to just kind of give an idea, because a lot of everybody's, or at least most people, have flown economy before. And so we're going to do business class and see the differences, see what amenities you get, and then we will go and do a comparison, so give you an idea. We got somebody's talking about my artwork up here. That is two of my favorite movie series. I'm a little bit of a handy person. I've been in the construction industry for a long time, and actually built. This is inside of a theater here. I built my own little mini theater, and those are my two favorite series, and yes, they have all been viewed in this theater. But thanks for the comment. But anyhow, we're going to be flying out of Nashville. We're going British Airways. We're going to do a little comparison with the between, like I said, the different class of flights, get the amenities and everything. We're going to try to do a video on that as well. We're going to be flying into Heathrow. We should be getting there the 31st, somewhat early, around 11ish, and make our way from Heathrow to King's Cross. We are going to introduce ourselves to the underground, get a taste of London's underground. I think we've planned to make our way from Heathrow to King's Cross via the underground, and we're going to be staying at a hotel there overnight. We've been watching a few videos about King's Cross and what's around there, and it really looks like a cool place. Excuse me. We saw a lot of good things we wanted to check out. We're going to do a walk around video, try to do it similar to a lot of our port tours. We'll walk around there, kind of see what's going on with that. And again, like I said, if anybody wants to make some recommendations, if you've been in that area and you want to make a recommendation, hey, please do. We'd love to take any recommendations. Yes, platform 9 3/4. We're actually planning on at least getting a walk by that. We've watched some of the videos and have seen some of the cues to get a picture at the platform 9 3/4 are being in the 2 hour range. I don't know that I'll wait that long for a photograph, but I may get a picture as we walk by. But we will be doing a little walk around of that area. There's supposed to be a really nice waterway behind that. That's got a lot of cool things out there too, and some other industrial stuff that's been remodeled. And like I said, I don't know what all we'll get to because we're going to be making an 8 hour flight or 9 hour flight.
A lot of vendors.
And we'll see what there is to see. But we're going to stay in a hotel the night before, and I always recommend that. And then we're going to we've already booked our train from London, which is going to be out of that same St. Pancras, I believe, station, to Dover, which is where the ship will be embarking out of, and that will be on September 1st. We will probably not be getting on board quite as early as we typically do because it's a good hour to get from London to the cruise port. But it is on the Carnival Pride. We actually just got off one of the Pride sister ships. Earlier this year, we were on the Carnival Spirit on an Alaska cruise. So we'll be real familiar with that one. We'll do our typical embarkation day stuff. We always like to try to find a nice, quiet place, find somewhere that isn't necessarily in the hub. A lot of times they try to herd everybody up to the Lido deck and get around to the buffet and all that. But we usually try to find the more secluded, the more quiet areas and kind of wind down. So we'll do a video on that. That will at least be part of a video. And then we shall go from there. We will do we got a sea day. And then we will be going to Glasgow. Glasgow port is actually Greenock, Scotland. We haven't decided 100% exactly what we're going to do. We have a couple of ideas. We've been debating on whether we want to make the 2 hour one-way trek to Edinburgh. They have an excursion through the ship to get there. It is, like I said, it's a 2 hour one way, so it's 4 hours to be spent on a bus when
that was our original port.
Because that was where we were supposed to do. They actually changed our itinerary 6 months ago, I believe, from what we were supposed to do. It was going to be Edinburgh was supposed to be our first stop, and which there's a little bit of history there. You know, our ancestry and stuff kind of goes into Scotland, and so that was kind of a neat thing we wanted to try to do. And so we're still debating whether we want to go and try to book the excursion through the ship to go to Edinburgh, or if we're going to just maybe consider doing it again later, doing another Europe trip and just spend some time in Glasgow. But that's still up in the air. We may even look to see if we can find a local vendor, tour vendor or some means of getting over there. We could use the public transportation. There is a pretty robust public transportation in the UK that you can get almost anywhere, at least in the more populated areas in a fairly reasonable amount of time. So we still haven't solidified the plans for Glasgow just yet. But if we don't go to Edinburgh, we're probably going to do like a hop on, hop off tour around Glasgow and do a city tour just to kind of get an idea. We've seen a few of those, and those look kind of appealing. And they've got a couple of museums that look kind of neat. Our next stop is Dublin. You don't actually cruise right into Dublin. It kind of is Dublin, but it's more of a suburb of Dublin. It's Dunleary is how you pronounce it. That's where the port's at. And we're gonna again, this is another port we haven't gotten a hard plan set for. You know, we're thinking we might just do some rambling, and then go up into Dublin, maybe try out there. We've seen a couple of the hop on hop offs there that looked like they had a lot of information, a lot of cool stuff to see.
Isn't there a castle?
I don't know about Dublin.
No.
Yeah, we
Not
didn't
there.
see anything for the Dublin stop. But we're looking at probably doing hop on hop off there, or we might just come up with some totally different plans. Those we haven't locked in. After Dublin, we are going to go to Belfast. We do have some set plans for Belfast. Again, we're going to just kind of make our way into town in Belfast, maybe check out a few things there. We might even do a hop on hop off there, but we do have plans to go to the Titanic experience. That was where the Titanic was built, and they've got an experience, a Titanic experience there that may or may not. We've already booked that, so that's going to be, and it's supposed to be really, really interesting. They don't allow video there, so I probably won't be able to get a whole lot of stuff for that one. And that's kind of what we got planned for Belfast. After Belfast, we're going to be going to Liverpool. Liverpool is not a big, it's a really big metropolitan area. We're not big Beatles people, and a lot of the stuff you see, I have froze. It looks like I'm back. Okay, so it looks like I froze there for a minute. So, did you message him? Yeah. There may be someone crossing our path behind us.
That's okay.
My son is just coming home, and if you notice, back here, there's a door, and that is where he comes in the door. So if you see a person come in that door, they'll go on by because they don't want to be on camera. Yep, here they come. So, this is my son. Anyhow, we're not going to do a whole lot of the Beatles stuff. Yeah, there's a delay. We're not going to do a lot of the Beatles stuff, and our plans for that is, what do we have? We had
make sure you get your ticket early for.
Oh yeah, and if you are going to do the Titanic experience in Belfast, you definitely want to get your tickets bought early. They sell out really fast, and if you do not get it at least a month or two in advance, you may not get a ticket for that. Where was this we were looking at?
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for our.
I had it flipped already.
You already flipped it for me. Okay. So, yes, the free tours by foot. That's what I was trying to look for. freetoursbyfoot.com. They do some free tours, free walking tours, and in a lot of the areas of the UK that we've looked at. So we're looking at probably doing one of those. Because typically we do port tours, so we definitely want to try to walk around the ports a little bit. It's going to be kind of hard because a lot of the places you go to see at these ports may be a distance away. So doing our typical port tour like we've done the Caribbean and Alaska, it's a little different. So we're going to try to look at these. So what we're thinking is that free tours we're going to be doing would be something that would cover more of that area close to the port. You'll have some Beatles-centric stuff. It's always going to be that way just because of their influence. But that's not what we're going to be focusing on. So after, then we go to Cork. Cork, Ireland, we will be, of course, the port there is Cove. It's kind of spelled funny, but it's pronounced Cove. And that is the last port the Titanic left from. Now, at this point, we may or may not be burnt out on the Titanic stuff, but they do have a Titanic exhibit there that we may consider looking at, but we also may not. We're looking at probably just going into Cork this far into the cruise. May just kind of look around, just see what's there. We're gonna do we got to do some historical stuff. We want to see if maybe we can find some attractions there that might be really good. And then our last stop on our cruise is going to be Holyhead. Now, Holyhead is a very small, I guess a fishing village maybe, or I don't know. It's still a very small sea town. There's not a lot of touristy things to do there. This is one port we're looking at probably booking either an excursion or just booking transportation ourselves to go to one of the local castles. There are 3 we found within an hour and a half ride on the transportation. We found hour and a half, maybe even less. 3 castles that built by King Edward I when they took over Wales. So we're wanting to look at some of that. That's probably a port we may do a castle. But, if anybody has recommendations, put that out there. We'd love to, hear what y'all recommend. Anybody that's been there.
At least one castle.
Yeah, we definitely got to hit a castle. You don't go to Europe and not hit a castle. But most of our stops, like I said, they're all going to be around the UK. It's almost kind of like a genealogical thing for us. That's where all our ancestors are from, that area. So it's kind of neat just to kind of go do that. But anyhow, the Holyhead is probably a location we're looking to do a tour of a castle. So there's 3 of those that we've looked at. Once we get done with that, there's another sea day. We get back to Dover, where we will leave the port of Dover. We've already booked all this transportation. We're going to go take the
Eurostar.
well, we got it's that same train that we took into there. We're going to go back to St. Pancras, which is next to King's Cross, and then we're going to take the Eurostar over to Paris, where we will spend a full day. We'll get there, in the afternoon. We're going to go. We're staying in a hotel near the Eiffel Tower. We're looking at a couple of just tours of that area. Maybe a river cruise, maybe even like a bus tour or something. We definitely got to go to a bakery. You got to get some French pastries. We may just kind of create our own tour on our own. And again, like I said, if anybody's got recommendations on that, post them in the comments or whatever. We'd love to hear from you. But we're going to spend a day in Paris, touring around there, getting all the footage and content we can get, and then we're going to take the Eurostar back to London, and we're going to be staying near Buckingham Palace there. We're going to spend a couple days just touring all the popular touristy spots. I know we're wanting to go see Buckingham Palace. It's a 10-minute walk from the hotel. We're going to want to watch maybe the changing of the guard, that kind of thing. We also want to go to the Westminster area, see Big Ben and a lot of the stuff there. The Tower of London. I'd love to check that out. We'll do a lot of the foodie stuff around there. And then on the 3rd day, we've got plans to go to the Warner Brothers Harry Potter studio tour. Now I know they let you record there, so that will definitely get a full vlog out of that one. Of course, they use this is all the set pieces, a lot of the costumes and stuff. Everything in the studio tour was actually in the movies, so it's kind of a cool thing to do. And something I'm, kind of really excited about because my daughter kind of got me caught in that stuff. And so it's going to be fun to check all that out. And then we've got, of course, we'll have, after we're done with that, we'll be flying back to Nashville. I'm going to try to, if I can, get a little bit of an insight into the lounges for the business class stuff, just to see if we can. I want to put some of that out there. I don't know if anybody's got questions about any of that. Be cool to, I'd love to answer anything, or if you have any questions you want to find out about, post that, and I'll see if we can't do a little research and go see, in person, if we can't find out any information for you. So once we fly back, that will be pretty much our whole tour. It's going to be 9 days on the cruise, and another 3-4 days of just kind of touring around London and Paris.
And 3 in London.
And
4.
so one thing that may or may not interest people is electricity. Europe has got a whole lot of different plug configurations for their power. And so, me being who I am, I have researched about what are the best things to do. And while there's really nothing inexpensive that will change the voltages, I did pick this up. It's an adapter that will, not only does it have the standard US style connectors, you've got the connector for your UK, like England and Ireland, and then the rest of the Europe uses a totally different adapter. Now, one thing to note, when you use one of these, is they don't change the voltage. So if you've got a device that you've used here in the US, you need to make sure it can receive an input of 100 to 240 volts. And most of your little charge blocks, laptop power supplies, those will accept that. But just look, and I don't know if you probably won't be able to see this, but I want to show you kind of here. There's on the bottom of this, you'll see the writing, and there is an input. It shows 100 to 240 volts. But yeah, so I've carried one like this for a long time that I use on the cruise ships, because all the cruise ships use the standard European connection. But since we were going to the UK, they have a different plug. So I've acquired a lot of these. But anyhow, so if anybody's got any other questions that they would like to ask, that they want information on, post them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I may even create a whole video on it. But we are going to Europe. We'll be leaving in 26 days, I believe it is. So,
Sounds right.
So that's it. This was our first live. I'm not going to say it didn't go without a hitch. It took me a minute to get everything set up, and we've had kind of neat, kind of cool figuring this out. I hope everybody enjoys this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate it if you do. It helps us out. It doesn't cost you anything. Share anything you like, with us. Let us know what you think. But I guess we'll sign off here, and thank you for watching.